A year ago, this was
like, don't you spray me,
long,
Bevins.
sloping mud pit of death. It was just rivulets of mud coming from the street and polluting the lake.
So the homeowner, Sandy, was having real trouble, as many in the Richmond region do, with standing water, with water rushing off during a storm event. There would be stormwater runoff, and it was taking away her mulch, it was taking away her soil, it was muddy in parts of her yard and flooded in other parts.
There's a long distance from the road in front of her house down to the lake back here, where that water can pick up a lot of speed, and if you don't do anything to slow it down, it takes a lot of sediment with it. You have a lot of erosion issues, and she was seeing that here. She's shown us photographs during a rainstorm where there are these huge sediment plumes in the lake, where all that dirt is going straight into the lake, being carried downstream.
But, as luck would have it, homeowner Sandy Bailey discovered a way to change the outcome.
It was a wonderful confluence of two things happening. I joined the Master Naturalist program, and so that made me aware even more of all the bad things that were happening from my yard, which feeds eventually into the Chesapeake. And then at the Master Naturalist program, they told me about VCAP.
The Virginia Conservation Assistance Program is a program designed to provide cost share to homeowners and businesses across most of Virginia throughout the Chesapeake Bay watershed. And it's to help people pay for landscaping projects that will prevent runoff.
Our goal being to reduce the amount of sediment and nutrients going into the bay, therefore cleaning up water quality. And we do that by helping individual homeowners or schools, churches, groups like that to install green infrastructure, stormwater controls on their property. We help them pay for it, and we guide them through the process.
We were able to qualify for everything from dry wells, which are big enough for me to sit in to mitigate the runoff. And then we have a riparian border down by the water, and then changing turf to natives. It's conservation landscaping, so taking out the pathetic excuse for turf that we had and putting native plants in.
She's got rain gardens, conservation landscaping, dry wells, I mean just a whole variety of practices that have completely changed the quality of the water that's coming off of her property.
It's really beneficial for the homeowner, and they get a lot out of it. It looks so beautiful, and it solves so many of their problems, and it saves them money.
Typically people don't call looking for funding or to say, I want to help clean up the Chesapeake Bay. They say, I've got some spot in my yard that's always muddy, or some area where the soil's eroding, what do I do? And they're really surprised when we come out, and we'll actually help guide them through the process. We'll help connect them with people that can solve the problem for them, and then we'll pay back part of the project too in the end.
So what this did is look at the flow of the water and then design appropriate systems so that to catch the water, to slow the water, and to direct it so it can slowly sink. It turned out beautifully.
If you live on a slope, you can't let your slope disappear every time there's a rainstorm. The trees can only do so much to hold the bank in. And so it was absolutely rescuing the house. And it is an investment that it brings beauty to my yard. It brings birds, it brings butterflies, it brings otters. And so that's a value that if I ever chose to sell the house, it's a National Wildlife Center.
She was recognized through our program as an award winner because she has done so many practices here that she has completely transformed the landscape here. This was so much just exposed dirt, erosion issues, and now it's these beautiful gardens.
I used to be a gardener that wanted things to look good, and I didn't really think about the consequences. And what this program helps you do is says, you know, there are consequences to all the choices you make, the fertilizers, whatever, and we don't want to do any harm.
For more about this program, visit WTVR.com/poweringvirginia for a direct link.